Hi everyone. So, I've decided to start a YouTube channel. I've been meaning to do this for the longest time, but I've decided to take advantage of it now while I have a bit of time off work for Easter, and I really wanted to start this for a numerous amount of reasons, but there is a pretty big reason as to why I wanted to start it. So, there's something pretty big going on in my personal life at the moment, and I kind of wanted to create this channel as a documentation of that for myself, but I also wanted to take you guys along with us on this journey and give you a bit of advice, hints and tips and things like that, because since I've been on this journey, I've been very thankful to my friends and family for their support, but there are some times where I wish that someone who was going through the same thing as me could help and give me some information about what's going on. There are YouTubers I have been watching throughout the process as well who have really helped, and I will be giving them a mention a bit later on. So, the thing that's been going on in my personal life that is the reason why I'm making this channel and I want to document the journey is that I'm in the process of being diagnosed with autism. It's been a long time coming to actually get there in the end. It's something I think has been present my whole life, but it didn't really click until I spoke to a colleague in my previous job who has become one of my best friends actually, and he's also autistic, and he kept saying to me, I really see the traits in you as well. I really see them, and I support you, and I think you should go for a referral. So this was 2 years ago, and at the time, it's a big bit of information. I was sort of stewing on it, trying to kind of put the pieces together. And then in July last year, my mental health took a pretty bad turn. There were a lot of changes going on in my life earlier that year, and my mental health just really took a bad turn. And it wasn't that these changes were bad, which is what was really confusing about my bad mental health turn. None of these changes were bad. It was just that they were changes, and changes aren't something that I handle particularly well at all. So, after doing a bit of research, following that conversation that I had with my friend, I decided to have a little bit of a dig and a bit of a research. So I found some amazing YouTubers, and just some general people who I find really influential and have impacted my life in a very big way. Even though they have no idea who I am, I've never met them before in my life, I want them to have a little mention in this video. If they see this, then that'll be amazing, but yeah, so the YouTubers who I want to give a massive shout out to, who have really helped me, Invisible Eye is the main lady who has helped me come to terms with so many things. Then got Sez Francis. I took part in a project in World Autism Awareness Week for Sez's channel, and that was an amazing experience. I actually got a little taste of the filming world. Loved it. I was quite nervous, but I did really enjoy it. And then Charl Davies. Now, Charl Davies is a tattoo artist who is on the show Just Tattoo of Us on MTV, and she got diagnosed with autism, and some of the stuff she posts is amazing, just to raise awareness, particularly for women on the spectrum as well. IndieAndy, who is actually from the same place as me, or near me, in the UK. And his channel's been really, really good to watch, and so is the Aspie World. So they're my 5 points of research that have really, really helped me put my puzzle pieces together and make me realise that actually there is something more to me having meltdowns. It's not just mental health, it's because I'm overstimulated and overwhelmed. So, after doing this research, I went to my GP. And a lot of people always say, oh, don't be disheartened if you get knocked back and things. So I went in to my GP surgery fully expecting for her to say, oh, well, it's to do with another condition that you've got. So I'm not going to refer you. But actually she did. She was really understanding. She was great. She asked me some questions about what difficulties I had. So some of my main difficulties are I have a huge sensitivity to light. Bright lights really hurt my eyes. I suffer with migraines quite a lot. And just they're really, really overstimulators. If things are too bright, I can't concentrate. Noise is another big one. Noise, it depends on what the noise is, what's going on. If it's multiple sounds, then I can never differentiate between them, and that gets quite stressful and overwhelming. So for example, I had an incident a few weeks ago where it was one of my friend's birthdays and we went to a Wetherspoons, and in that Wetherspoons it was completely packed. We were waiting for 2 of my friends who were outside having a cigarette, and I was in the pub with my boyfriend, and I had to leave that pub and I had to go home because the noises from all the conversations, the glasses, and it makes us just feel a bit sick just even thinking about all the noises. So noise. Social situations. So for me, social situations, I am quite hit-and-missy with social situations. So it will depend on the situation itself and if I'm with people that I feel comfortable with when I try to socialise with you. So for example, if we're out and about, so say I'm with my boyfriend, we're out and about, and a stranger approaches us. And they want to ask for something. I will let my boyfriend speak to that stranger before I do. Pretty much the same for ordering food. I also have celiac disease, so it's very important that I don't have anything with gluten in it. So I tend to get my boyfriend to ask for the gluten-free menu because it's something that causes me a lot of anxiety. Phone calls. I am from a telephony job background, so I can do phone calls, but it does cause us a great deal of stress, particularly if I have an aggressive customer and I don't know when to speak or how to deal with it. So that's something as well. There are other things and I don't want to elaborate too much, but yes, so I explained all of this to my GP. She was great. Referral was done straight away, which was so much relief. So much relief. I can't explain how, what a weight that lifted off my shoulders. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible to have that weight lifted. So, I got my referral in July, and then I got confirmation of that referral and an explanation of the waiting list and things. Now, in the area that I am in the UK, so I am based in the glorious North East, the waiting list is 15 to 18 months. But there are things that happen later on down the line, because we're not quite to where we are now, that have meant that I am now a priority appointment. So, fast forward a little bit to November. So, I started uni. I started studying my history masters in September last year, September 2018. Now, in November, I had a meeting with a disability advisor, and I said I'm waiting to get diagnosed through the NHS for autism, but I would like to have a educational psychologist take a look at what difficulties I have and give me some sort of verdict, because I think it would be helpful for when I do get my assessment. So, I went to Newcastle I still go to Newcastle University, but that's another story. So the process was that I had a form to fill in. I also had to put a down payment down of £350. Now, I did have substantial savings at the time, just from, because I lived at my parents' before I moved in with my boyfriend, so I did have some savings back, so I could afford to do that. I'm lucky to be able to do that. So I booked my assessment and I attended it. And this assessment basically was with an educational psychologist, like I said, and she made me do a series of little quizzes and things. She made me do like a memory test, so she would make us count back, and it would have to be back, but it would have to be in alphabetical and numerical order. So say you had ACB 1 2, it would be ABC 1 2 kind of thing. I don't even know whether I got that right. My memory is so bad my short term. So that was the kind of thing that I had to do. Little quick memory tests, puzzle solving tests as well, to see whether I could crack a basic puzzle and things like that. And I had to wait about a month to get these results back. And they came back, and because she did say on the date, like, I want to be able to tell you, but I can't, even though you've suspended your studies for the moment because you're going to start a new job. I can't tell you. I'll send you the report when everything's sorted out. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got my report, and that came back. That there's a strong possibility that I'm autistic. So fast forward from then, I left my old job, where basically the reason why I left my old job, there were two reasons. The first was that this new job was a promotion, and secondly, the job that I had was sort of a temporary role, and they didn't know how much longer they were going to have this job sort of there. And the people that are currently doing that job, I'm still quite close with them, and they don't know what's going to happen with them in the next few months. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that I got this new job, but I did really love my old job. So started a new job, started having quite a lot of panic, because with new jobs comes learning a lot of new things, and being overwhelmed and bombarded with information does not suit my brain well at all. My brain, I have quite a slow processing speed, so you can tell me something, but you have to be very clear and concise and just give the information to me in small chunks, because if you don't, I'm not going to take it in and I will forget something. So I was having meltdowns at work, and I thought, you know what, enough's enough. So I phoned the adult autism service, and I said, look, my condition's got worse. Is there any way that I can fast forward my appointment, become higher on the list, because I need to keep my job? And they'd said to me that I need to phone my GP, and my GP would write to them with any difficulties that I am having, just to see whether it's worthy of being moved up the list. Which I was a little bit upset about at the time, because I thought, well, if someone's telling you they're having significant issues, then you shouldn't really be saying to them that that's not a valid reason. But anyway, besides the point. So I did what I was instructed to do. I phoned my GP, who was the same GP that referred me in the first place, and I explained everything that was going on, and she wrote to them. And about a week later, I got a phone call saying that I was a priority appointment, and that is where we are now. I'm still waiting. I haven't heard anything. I phoned them. So I had that phone call probably near the end of March, and I phoned them in the middle of April, so I'm probably not going to try and chase this up, because I know how long it can be. I think I just want answers, and that's why I've been trying to find out what's going on for so long. And I'm so desperate to know and to actually get an answer and to get the support that I need. And when I had that appointment with the educational psychologist, she said it's a when you get diagnosed, not if. So I'm very confident walking into that appointment that I am going to walk out with a diagnosis. And it's going to be a lot to take in, and there's going to be a lot of things that probably will have to change a little bit in my life. I've lost quite a lot of friends because of this, because of misunderstandings and people perceiving what I say to be impolite. That's one of the big things I've struggled with, is I'll unintentionally say something that's quite hurtful, or I'll be hurt and I'll retaliate in a way that isn't the best, but I won't realise until after the incident, and then feel so remorseful and upset, because I like, people say autistic people don't have empathy. It's not that we don't have empathy, it's that with other people we don't understand sometimes why they feel the way they do, or we might say, oh well, it's daft to think like that, and not particularly be understanding of it. And I am probably, like, I'm an emotional sponge sometimes. If someone has an emotion, I take that on myself and overload myself with emotions, and it's difficult. So, like I said, this is where we are now. I want to keep you guys updated. I don't want this channel to just be about autism, though I do want it to be about other things. I don't know what I'm going to plan for next week. It may not be this time next week that I upload. It may be a weekend, or it may be later on this week. I don't know. The schedule is going to be erratic for the moment because I'm just starting out. I really don't know when I will get the time to upload. I'm hoping, don't hold me to this, but I'm hoping that Tuesdays will be my regular day to upload. But I can't promise that right now. So, going forward, I know that my channel is going to basically give you updates and little developments in my story. But if anyone wants us to talk about anything else, do let us know, because I would absolutely love to talk about other things too. I have a whole range of interests that I could ramble on about for ages. So, what is it that YouTubers normally say at this point? Please like, comment and subscribe. It'll really help us out just to know whether these are liking what I'm going to be doing. And maybe give us some ideas as well about what you guys want to see. Okay, bye everyone.